Hello everybody. In today's video, we'll try to discuss the points related to inductors. That is, when inductors are connected in parallel, what will be the final total inductance expression will be discussed in today's class. So before we go into details of today's class, we'll just try to brush up the things what we have discussed in the previous videos. That is, in the previous videos we were talking about inductor. That is, we have discussed that inductor is a electronic component which can store magnetic energy, and this inductance property is mostly exhibited in coils, and the units of inductance are henries. Inductors generally exhibit two types of inductances. First one is self-inductance, the other one is mutual inductance. So self-inductance is nothing but if a coil is given amount of energy, or it is when a current is flowing through a coil, an EMF or voltage will be induced in the coil itself because of the current that is flowing, and that voltage that is being induced is represented by a term called as inductance. And the self inductance, or simply we call it as inductance, is indicated by letter L. Okay, and we have also discussed what is meant by mutual inductance. Mutual inductance is nothing but if when one or more, that is, for example, if more than two inductors are connected nearby to one another, because of the current that is flowing in one coil, voltage will be induced in the nearby coil. So because of one coil, voltage will be induced in the adjacent coil, and this property we call it as mutual inductance. And also we have discussed what is meant by coefficient of coupling. That is, what is the amount of mutual inductance that is being developed in the coils which are near to each other, and that factor we call it as mutual coefficient of coupling. And the inductors can be either loosely coupled or tightly coupled. Loosely coupled means there will be zero mutual inductance developed between the coils which are nearby, then we call it as loosely coupled. Or if in case when two coils are connected nearby each other and the mutual inductance terms is fully connected, and the mutual inductance will be maximum, and it is indicated by letter K is equal to 1. That means that the total EMF that is induced in the first coil is getting induced in the second coil also. So this property we call it as mutual inductance. And also this property is called as that is the amount of voltage that is being that is a fraction, the fraction of the voltage that is being developed between the coils which are connected nearby is indicated by a term called as coefficient of coupling. Generally it is indicated by letter K, and it varies between 0 and 1. And also we have discussed inductors which are connected in series. So in that session we have discussed that when two inductors are connected in series, it will be almost equivalent of resistors in connected in series. That is, the expressions how we write for resistors will be applicable for the inductors when they are connected in series. So the total inductance in the circuit will be equal to the sum of all the individual voltages connected to each other. Okay, so the total inductance LT will be equal to sum of individual inductances like L1 plus L2, L3 up to the n number of inductors that are connected in series. Here another point to be noted regarding series connected inductors is So for a series connected inductors, the total inductance will be always greater than the largest inductor in the series connection. Okay, for example, if there are 10 inductors in the series connection and one among those inductor has some 50 henries, and if we calculate the total inductance of all the 10 inductances, the total inductance what we get will be always greater than the maximum or the largest inductor, that is in this example 50 henries. So always the value will be greater than the largest inductor in the series circuit. And also we have seen that in inductors, when connected in series, sometimes mutual inductance may also take part in the total inductance that is being generated. So that in such a case we consider two different types of inductors in series, that is cumulatively connected inductors and differentially connected inductors in series. When we consider cumulatively connected inductors in series, we simply assume that the direction of current that is flowing in two inductors will be in the same direction. Then we call it as cumulatively connected series inductors. So in such case, what we do is the total inductance will be equal to the individual inductances plus 2 times the mutual inductance. That is what we write is the total inductance LT will be equal to L1 plus L2 plus 2M. Whereas in case of differentially coupled series inductors, the current that is flowing in the inductors or the coils will be opposite to each other. That is why we call it as differentially coupled series inductors. In such a case, what we write is the total inductance LT will be equal to L1 plus L2 minus 2M. So these are the points what we have discussed in the previous video, and in continuation of the previous video we'll discuss the inductors connected in parallel. Why I am repeating all these terms is, when you recollect all those points, you can easily understand the points from this video. That is why I was trying to put all the points what we have discussed in the previous video together in this video. Okay, now with the knowledge of the previous videos and also what I have summarized just now, we'll try to discuss the points related to inductors when connected in parallel. So in this class also we'll try to learn how inductors will be connected in parallel, and what is the expression what we give for inductors, and also we'll also see how inductors value will be varying according to aiding type and also according to the opposing type of inductors. So all these points we'll discuss in this video. Okay, so let's start. What is all about inductors in parallel. So as you can see it on the diagram on the screen, we have taken 3 different inductors, L1, L2, L3. All three are connected to 2 different terminals, A and B. We simply call it as the supply terminals. So this kind of connection we call it as parallel connection. That is, inductors are said to be connected together in parallel when both of their terminals are respectively connected to each terminal of another inductor or inductors. Okay, so all the terminals are connected to one point, then we call it as parallel connection. This applies to all the components, like even for the resistors and capacitors also we have said the same, right? So here you can see that all the positive terminals of the inductors are connected to terminal A, and all the negative terminals of the inductor are connected to terminal B. This kind of connection we call it as parallel connection. The voltage drop across the inductors in parallel will be same. Okay, so for series connection I have said that the current will be same in all the inductors, whereas when we connect inductors in parallel, the voltage drop in all the inductors will be same. So inductors in parallel have a common voltage across them. Okay, for example, if you take the inductor L1, it will have a voltage of VL1. For inductor L2, voltage will be VL2. Voltage for L3 is VL3, and the supply voltage is nothing but VAB. So according to the point what I have said, we can simply write that the voltage across all these resistors will be equal to the supply voltage or individual voltage, that is VL1 is equal to VL2, VL2 is equal to VL3, that is equal to VAB. Okay, so where L1, L2 and L3 are connected together in parallel between the terminal points A and B. Okay, so in the last series, in the last video, that is inductors connected in series, we have seen that the total inductance LT of the circuit is equal to the sum of all the inductors added together. Okay, for inductors in parallel, the equivalent LT will be calculated a bit differently. Okay, when we assume the sum of the individual currents flowing through each inductor, and it can be found using Kirchhoff's current law. Previously for series circuit we have applied Kirchhoff's voltage law, and for parallel circuit we'll use Kirchhoff's current law. So according to the Kirchhoff's current law, the sum of the incoming current, that is nothing but IT, will be equal to sum of the outgoing current, that is I1, I2, I3. Okay, so according to the Kirchhoff's current law, we can simply write the expression as I1, here you can see IT is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, and also we know that the self-induced EMF across an inductor can be simply written as this expression, that is V is equal to L di by dt, right? So this is what we have discussed in the first video of inductors, right? So voltage developed across the inductor V is equal to self-inductance divided by rate of change of current, L di by dt. So by taking these values for the individual currents flowing through the inductors in our circuit and substituting the currents I for I1 plus I2 plus I3, then we can simplify the expression as V like this. So VAB is equal to LT into, instead of I here in this expression instead of I, we write I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, so what we write is VAT is equal to L, total inductance. So I write here L as LT, and here di by dt can be written as, here in the place of I we write it as I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, so we can write this expression as VAB is equal to LT into di by dt of I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay, so if you want to expand this expression, this can be written as LT into di1 by dt plus di2 by dt plus di3 by dt, right? So we can also reduce the final expression by simply substituting di by dt with V by L. Okay, so what we do is, instead of di by dt in this expression, we substitute by V by L. Then the expression will become VAB is equal to LT into V by L1 plus V by L2 plus V by L3. Okay, so till now you got the point, right? So what we have done is, we have taken V is equal to L di by dt, and in that we have substituted I as I1 plus I2 plus I3, and later we have substituted the di by dt term with V by L terms. So till now we have arrived up to this point, and we can even reduce it to the final expression for calculating the total inductance of a circuit when the inductors are connected in parallel by just taking the voltages common. So that is, we can write the final expression for parallelly connected inductors as 1 by LT is equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2 plus 1 by L3 up to 1 by L1. So by observing this expression, we can say that this final expression is very much equivalent to the resistors which are connected in parallel, that is the reciprocal terms. So like the calculations for parallel resistors, the reciprocals, that is 1 by Ln values for the individual inductors are all added together instead of the inductors themselves. But again, as with the series connected inductances, this expression also holds true only when we consider that there is no mutual inductance or magnetic coupling between two or more of the inductors. That is very similar to the series resistors. We consider this expression to be valid only when we consider that there is only self-inductance among the coils and there is no magnetic coupling or mutual inductance between the coils or the inductors. Okay, that is, we simply consider that all the inductors L1, L2 and L3 are isolated from each other and there is no magnetic coupling between them. Then this expression is valid. Okay, where there is no coupling between the coils and the total inductance is also affected by the amount of coupling itself. Okay, so this method of calculation can be used for calculating any number of individual inductances connected together with a single parallel network. So if however there are only two individual inductors in parallel, then a simpler and much quicker formula can be used to find the inductance value. I'll show you that. So this is the expression what you can easily remember for parallelly connected inductors when and if there are only two inductors connected in parallel. This is the simplest expression what you can easily remember when there are only two inductors connected in parallel, that is LT is equal to L1 L2 by L1 plus L2. Okay, got the point? So this kind of expression we have seen even for the capacitors also. For the capacitor circuit also, when only two capacitors are connected in series, I have given this kind of expression, that is C1 into C2 by C1 plus C2, right? So here also for parallel connected inductors, when only two inductors are there, you can write this expression, and that too condition is that only self inductances are considered, no mutual inductance is considered here. And one important point regarding this connection is that is inductors connected in parallel circuit, the total inductance, that is LT, what we get for the total circuit or the equivalent circuit of any two or more inductors connected together in parallel will always be less than the value of the smallest inductor in the parallel chain. In the previous video for series inductor, what I have told you is for the series connected inductors, the total value or the total equivalent inductance will be always greater than the greatest inductor in the series circuit. The opposite we see for the inductors in parallel, that is the total inductance will be less than the smallest inductor in the parallel chain. For example, if we have 10 inductors connected in parallel and among all those 10 inductors, one of the inductor has 0.5 Henry, for example, we take. So the output expression what we get, or the total inductance of the total inductor will be less than 0.5 Henries. Okay, will be always less than the smallest inductor in the parallel chain. So this is a blind way how you can simply identify whether the calculated value is either correct or not by just remembering this point. So if you get a value which is greater than the smallest value, then smallest inductor in the parallel chain, then you can say that what the answer what you got is wrong. So always remember this point, that the value what you get when you calculate the inductance should be smaller than the smallest inductor in the parallel circuit. Okay, so this is all about the inductors when connected in parallel, and that too when we consider there is only self inductance and mutual inductance terms are neglected. Okay, now we'll see what happens when mutually coupled inductors in parallel, that is when we add a point called as mutual inductance to the circuit, right? So when inductors are connected together in parallel so that the magnetic fields of one links with other, the effect of mutual inductance either increases or decreases the total inductance depending upon the amount of magnetic coupling that exists between the coil. So the effect of this mutual inductance depends upon the distance apart of the coil and their orientation to each other. Okay, so mutually connected inductors in parallel can be either categorized into two types, aiding or opposing. The total inductance with parallel aiding connected coils increases the total equivalent inductance, whereas parallelly opposing coils decreases the total equivalent inductance. Okay, I repeat, the total inductance with parallelly aiding connected coils increases the total equivalent inductance, and opposite will occur in parallel opposing coils, that is in parallel opposing coil decreasing the total equivalent inductance compared to the coils that have zero mutual inductance. Okay, so let's discuss these points in detail, that is what happens in parallel aiding and what happens in parallel opposition. So one point to be remembered is, in parallel aiding inductors, increasing the total inductance with parallel aiding connected coil will increase the total equivalent inductance. So if you want to increase the total equivalent inductance, parallel aiding connection should be done. So as you can see on the diagram, the connections what we have made is nothing but parallel aiding, that is the starting points. Here you see two dots for L1 and L2, right? So that is indicating the starting point. Okay, so the starting points of the inductors are connected to one terminal and the ending points are connected to the other terminal. Then we call this kind of connection as parallel aiding. Okay, very simple. When the same terminals are connected, the same polarity terminals are connected to the positive terminal and another polarity terminals are connected to negative terminal, then we call it as parallel aiding connected inductors. And the voltage across the two parallel aiding inductors must be equal since they are parallel, so that the two currents, that is I1 which is flowing in L1 and I2 which is flowing in L2, must vary so that the voltage across them stays the same. Okay, so the total inductance LT for two parallel aiding inductors can be given as LT is equal to L1 into L2 minus M square by L1 plus L2 minus 2M. I repeat, LT is equal to L1 into L2 minus M square by L1 plus L2 minus 2M, where we know that M represents a mutual inductance, L1 indicates the self inductance of inductor L1, L2 indicates the self inductance of the inductor L2. Here 2m represents the influence of coil L1 on L2 and likewise coil L2 on L1. Right? So this point we have already seen even in the self-inductance topic also. So if the two inductors are connected and the magnetic coupling is perfect, then the equivalent inductance of the two inductors in parallel is L, as LT is equal to L1 is equal to L2 is equal to M. However, if the mutual inductance between them is 0, the equivalent inductance would be L divided by 2. The same for the two self-induced inductors in parallel. So if one of the two coils was reversed with respect to the other, we would have two parallel opposing inductors and the mutual inductance M that exists between the two coils will have a cancelling effect on each coil instead of aiding effect. Okay. Coming to the parallel opposing inductors, so as you can see it on the diagram, so the starting point of one terminal and the ending point of another terminal are connected to the positive terminal, and similarly the opposite applies here also, right? So whereas for parallel adding inductors, we have connected the same terminals together. Here different terminals will be connected, and such a kind of connection we call it as parallel opposing inductors. So the total inductance LT for two parallel opposing inductors can be given as LT is equal to L1 into L2 minus M square divided by L1 plus L2 plus 2M. Just there is a difference here in the plus sign. So for the previous one we have minus 2M, whereas here we have plus 2M. That is the only difference for parallel opposing inductors. So what happens this time is, if two inductors are equal in value and magnetic coupling is perfect between them, and the equivalent inductance and also the self-induced EMF across the inductors will be 0, as the two inductors will cancel out each other. This is because as the two currents I1 and I2 will flow through each inductor, in turn the total mutual flux generated between them is 0, because the two fluxes produced by each inductor are both equal in magnitude but opposite in directions. Okay, so then the two coils effectively become a short circuit to the flow of current in the circuit. So the equivalent inductance LT becomes equal to L plus or minus M divided by 2. Okay, so this is all about parallel opposing inductors, right? So whenever you are asked to calculate inductance when inductors are connected in parallel, just remember 2 points, that is whether to consider self-inductance and whether to consider mutual inductance. So if you want to consider only self-inductance, simply write the expression as 1 by LT is equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2 up to 1 by Ln. Whereas if you want to consider mutual inductance terms also while calculating the inductances, then you have to keep 2 points in mind. First you have to check whether they are parallelly aiding to each other or either parallelly opposing. When parallelly aiding inductors are given, then you can use the formula LT is equal to L1 L2 minus M square by L1 plus L2 minus 2M. Whereas when you are considering parallelly opposing inductors, you can use the expression LT is equal to L1 L2 minus M square by L1 plus L2 minus 2M. And another point to be kept in mind regarding parallel connected inductors is, When parallel connected inductors are taken and calculated for the total inductance, the total inductance what we get will be always smaller than the smallest inductor in the parallel chain. So with that point in mind, when you calculate some value, if you get the value based upon this statement, then you are correct with your answer. Otherwise, just rechecking of your answer gives you a correct answer. Okay, so this is all about parallelly connected inductors and what are the expressions uh, that we give for parallelly connected inductors. Okay, so I hope I have given you enough of explanation regarding series and parallel connected inductors, and in the next coming videos we'll come up with the other topics from the chapter. Okay, thank you.